Good morning. My name is Tony. I am a CEO of CMIT Robotics. Do you think that the robot can move smoothly like a human? Our mission is to develop the robot to make your life easier and safer. We believe that we have the most effective robot for a new generation available in the market today. Consider this situation first. You work for a company that tests the chemical product. You come into contact chemical every day and you see all the repetitive tasks. Maybe you have made a decision on buying a new industrial robot. However, they are really complicated to use. Just basic stuff. People have a hard time figuring out how to use them. Moreover, we are lacking of the worker in the near future. To solve this problem, the industrial robot is used to improve repeatability and accuracy. They can work 24/7. However, the industrial robot is not suitable to work with the human. So, they are starting to use the collaborative robot or cobot that interact with the human. The growth rate of the cobot and market value is increasing dramatically, about $12 billion in 2025. It's very interesting that the cobot will drive the overall robotic technology. And the growth rate of the cobot is about 60%. There are plenty room for us to grow. Why the collaborative robot is growing significantly? The collaborative means safety. They will stop when they're running to the obstacle or the human. They can do and learn more sophisticated tasks. They can adaptable and scalable as the market change. The industrial robot can control only position and velocity by following a fixed program without people working around it. Accident can be prevented by using the safety phase. The cobot is specially designed to work seamlessly together with the equipment by controlling position, velocity, and force. The safety phase is no longer needed. It provides a safer working environment, which in turn provides a better quality of life. The general cobot have position and force sensor. These force sensor and software are very expensive, so the price of the cobot is very high. What we want to do is to develop a cost-effective and smarter robot. We are so proud to introduce all of you to our Flexi, which is phenomenal. We have developed a powerful software to estimate the interaction force between human and robot in a 3D workspace. There is no need to use the force sensor in our robot system. That can make our robot much cheaper. In comparison, the other cobot record only position from point to point and use the software to generate the path planning. Based on our technology, Flexi robot can record both position and force with an extremely high level at microsecond. With the capability of recording more than 30,000 points per second, our Flexi robot can be replaced smoothly and perfectly like a human. And Flexi robot is super easy to use. To start, you just click the button and then putting it there motion. It will automatically record both position and force. And when you finish, you just click stop. That's it. You can teach a robot in seconds, not hours. Moreover, our Flexi robot can be remotely controlled with other robots via force feedback. And you can use the Flexi software to edit the robot movement. Just choose the digital file and then cut and paste and process. And this digital file can send through the internet. The other robot can use this digital file to replay and learn how to move like a human. And it is not required engineer to support. If you make a graph of easy to use axis and natural movement axis, Industrial robots are like that on the left corner. They are not easy to use. Collaborative robot is easier to use. Anyway, the cobot cannot replicate the human movement perfectly. It records only position data. And the structure of the robot is heavier than our robot system. That's why CMIT Robotics is positioned at the highest performance. This video showing a painting task which require complex motion control and adaptability. User can adjust the robot movement to increase productivity up to 3 times faster. You will see that this robot will replay exactly both position and force. We have successfully implemented our first robot prototype for working with human in many application areas, such as dropping and mixing the chemical in the laboratory, and automatic screw driving system. You can use our robot to assemble the mechanical part and resoldering with automatic cleaning of the tool tip. You will see that our robot has a very high performance with high repeatability and high accuracy. And the fully autonomous painting robot. This robot can mix the color, clean the batik, and the artist can use our robot more than 5 hours to complete and replay the artwork. Our CMIT robot can be attached with any tool and anyone can use it. Our first target group is SME and industry, which is 99.7% of Thailand enterprise. Our robot will help and support the Thailand 4.0, which is a specific industrial policing. We have a partner with GM Automation to develop a new robot system for automatic induction heating machine and process. And they really believe our robot system. Having a research more than 15 years, I have designed many different types of robots for many applications, such as a leg place rehabilitation robot with Hitachi Company, industrial robot, and teleoperate surgical robot system. Based on our technology, our team won the second place Robot Art Worldwide competition, and we also have a very strong collaboration with Nagaoka University of Technology in Japan. We can make 8,000 of profit on every single robot that we distribute. We are looking for $1 million to go fast. We want to scale the team for developing production and big marketing push. They will bring us first 60 units sold in the first year. And we have planning to build a new factory in the next year. Our target is to sell the robot more than 5,000 units in the next 5 years in Thailand and CMIT. CMIT Robotics can be positive cash flow in 2 years, and we estimate 10 times investor return by year 5. Our robotics is a new S-curve industry, which drive the overall Thailand future growth. There are many organizations want to support our technology. We are going to change the way all people think of the robot system. We have a strong team, we have a solution, and we have a powerful robot system. If you like to take part on CMIT Robotics, please come to see us after pitch. Thank you very much.
So you mentioned your early adopters to be the SMEs, which is, I think there are more than 2 million SMEs across Thailand, and they are the ones who very hard to change their behavior. Can you ever elaborate on that? Which sector that you try to track it on, because it's SMEs quite a lot, and what are some of the early applications that you think you're gonna have to go to market plan?
Firstly, I want to apply our robot for the industry, such as the GM automation. They want to change from induction heating machine to automatic induction heating process. They need to use the high autonomous robot system, and the normal robot is really difficult to use. In order to support the SME, I designed a new system that's super easy to use. For example, you just click the button, and then you move our robot, and then when you finish, you only just click stop. That's it. Then this system is very easy to the SME. I think they no need to hire robot engineer to work with them to support. Then I think it is a suitable solution for them.
Let me try to understand what you say. You say for the robot to learn, you actually move the arm around, right? Therefore,
Yes.
you don't program anything. So
Yes.
basically, the robot sense whatever the movement
Sense
you gave
the
them.
motion
Right.
of the human, both
Okay.
position and force that.
So once you finish, basically they just keep repeating doing
Can
that.
replay and replay, and you can use the software to edit the
Okay.
movement.
Now, the first 60 robot you're going to sell the first year, which industry? Have you surveyed any, and what industry are they?
Yeah, the industry is about automobile industry. For example, the pick and place tasks or welding.
They got an interest in those, and what
Yeah,
what's
and-
specifically that they'll be using this one for?
Yes, and to make resoldering for the circuit. Yes, and this robot also can help our factory. It can support our factory. We can use our robot to build the robot also.
I'm talking about the first 60. You better get money from somewhere else, not yourself. So
The first target
Yeah.
group is automobile company, GM Automation,
And
to make the electronic circuit.
so you mentioned your robots less than half the price of a comparable, I presume they're comparable equivalent. Why are you focusing on sales in Thailand then? Why not sell across the globe if you can manufacture and sell the equivalent item for less than half the cost?
Yeah, in the first step, I want to sell Thai people because I want to drive the overall SME Thailand first, and then we can make I can convince them to use our robot system. And
Okay.
in the next step, I want to sell it in CLM.
For what it's worth, if I'm trying to sell something, trying to convince someone who's never used it to buy it as opposed to going to someone who already wants it, but I have it at half the price, I think you'll find it easier to sell to the people who already want it and already use it. So just a suggestion there. Also, why is it so much cheaper? Is it because your labor inputs are cheaper? Or do you have patents? What is your long-term competitive advantage in keeping that price point?
Powerful software to estimate interaction force.
Okay, and do you have patents on that software? How exactly do you keep that advantage over time?
We are planning to file patent and software license this year.
how can it be copied by
Yeah, it's
others?
heavily time to copy because they need to know the algorithm of the software, and the most difficult thing that they need to identify the parameter of the mechanical structure of the robot. It is very difficult. It's heavily time to copy our technology.
Well, aren't you worried about a country with more than 1 billion people up north that
Yeah.
they might be able to copy you? How can you prevent them to, if they look at your system, do you think they can copy?
Maybe we need to make the patents as fast as possible. No, not patent.
It-
Software license and I have already discussed with a company from Singapore about the patent and software license.
Yeah, you have to sort the patents out globally, ASAP.
Yeah, but we need to invest more than 200,000 baht.
Yeah,
Very
well,
expensive.
it's expensive, but for the rest of it to work, that has to be there. Another question I have though too, have you done studies, you're talking about selling to SMEs. Have you managed to do studies to be able to determine the potential benefit of, what's the cost differential from hiring a laborer in one of those factories? How much money do you actually save? What's the benefit to that SME using your tool as opposed to working with what they already have?
Brother, again, please.
So
Sorry.
right now I assume those SMEs use labor, people. And I assume that labor is probably not ridiculously expensive. If it were Japan, then yes, labor is very expensive. Thailand, most of ASEAN, less so. So what's the actual cost benefit of using one of your machines in an SME, given the upfront cost, the capital requirements, everything else, compared to employing labor? And then also, what do we do with the people who used to do that job?
Yeah, of course. If I use our robot system, maybe it's replace the blue-collar worker who don't have experience or skill, but it creates a new job opportunity for engineers. More than 35%. And I also have many customers when I study in the university. For example, the scientists who want to mix the chemical every day, it's very boring. It's a repetitive task. Then I can help them to change from the boring task to use our tool.
Well, this will be my suggestion. First, patent ASAP, right, as soon as possible. Secondly, you should focus on big industrial that already use lots and lots of robots. I'm sure they would see some value in it and get them on board to get money. And then thirdly, then you worry about SME. You have a very good cost in trying to support SME, but you have to be strong first in order to support and help them. So first thing first.
I also want to support Thai engineers. I want to build a startup for my students also. Because I believe that Thai engineer has a great idea and great engineering skill also. If they can build a robot technology, maybe we can sell in CMIT and globally.
And I like 95% of what you just said, and I admire your passion in supporting Thai engineers, but what I believe you need to do is turn that around and say, first you need to build a business.
Okay.
And through that business, you can support the Thai engineers. Because what you're saying is, maybe we can sell them after. Don't build the robot first and maybe we can sell. Build the business and employ the engineers.
I agree with you. That is the last target of my life. I want to send this technology for the younger generation. I learned in Japan many years. They have a process, monoschool, to practice engineer, they practice it. And I really love this concept. And I try to convince my research student to follow the process of monoschooling of Japan.
So suggest that you go to the top university in Thailand right away, like King Mongkut, Juฬa engineering department, and tell them exactly what type of engineer that you want. Because sometimes when they produce engineer, those engineer doesn't really go up to speed that fast. But if you know exactly what works in your organization, that you can hire a lot of them, tell them exactly what they have to be teaching and what they are lacking of in the past that you have to end up teaching them yourself. This will help our education system to supply you lots of the right engineer for you.
Thank you very much. for your suggestion.